The art of hacking. So let's say you have a problem, and this problem can vary from you're trying to access a Wi-Fi, it can be you're trying to build a business, it can be you're trying to find leads, it can be you're trying to build a product from nothing to something, it can be a lot of things, it can be cooking a meal. So most of the time, what we are thinking is there's a structured way, there's like a set of rules or steps that have to be followed. There's like most of the time what I'm thinking is trying to see how I draw this. Okay, this one. So you're thinking it's going to be like this, but it's never usually like a straight line if you're trying to solve a problem, especially if it's a complex problem. It's something like this, and then you get to the destination. So I'm assuming this is a destination. Yeah. So we are assuming that for you to get here is going to be, just a straight line, but it's never really a straight line. There's usually going to be different challenges. There's going to be, so you need to have this mind of, okay, it's not going to be a straight line, and then I need to come up with a way of, I'm going to figure this out as I go, right? So that's when hacking happens. Hacking can be viewed as, okay, this is an illegal activity or you're abusing the knowledge that you have, but it's not usually the case. So when you're building a product, taking that as an example, there's different products that exist. So there's different products that already exist in the market, right? So this is product one, product two, and then product three. You can think of these as maybe like your competitors, right? So um, if you're trying to see, okay, how do I get to build a product that is better than one and two and three? Not necessarily, even if like it's not the best of them. Like, how do I build something that is closest? You need to evaluate these products. You need to start thinking, okay, what are they missing? How can I do this better? And maybe we should label this as the art of product hacking, right? Right? Okay, let's label this as product hacking, and this is better. So you need to start thinking from this perspective. How do I reverse engineer this? There's like these different products that are going to be my competitors. How do I reverse engineer this? And again, if you're looking at this, you need to start thinking, okay, uh, even though they are my competitors, are we in the same markets? In the same markets, you need to look at markets, you need to look at pricing, you need to look at features, you need to look at um, design, you need to look at, um, you can say typography, fonts. You need to look at these different things, and then you can decide. But like if a product is not in the same market as you, there's no need to really do like all of this, right? There's no need to. You can still look at features, you can look at the design, you can look at typography and fonts, but most of the time there's no need to like think of them as a competitor because each market presents its own challenges. So different market, different challenges, right? And then when you're looking at pricing, again, you need to look at payment processor that is applicable to your market. You need to look at because you don't want to build a product and affordability. You don't want to build a product and make it overprice it. And then when it comes to features, you can adopt features. I feel like it's allowed to adopt features. Like you can adopt features from existing competitors, and then you don't want to be you don't you want to copy like an artist. Let me put it that way. You want to copy like an artist. So you want to steal like an artist. Let me use this. So you don't want to like come off like, okay, I built the product and it looks exactly like my competitor. Like that's ridiculous, right? You want to build something and it needs to feel like it's something new in your market. It needs to feel like you are differentiating yourself. So this is where you have to introduce your creativity now. You have to think, okay, how do I make this unique? What's my unique value if I'm creating this? And then what is how and yeah, this is basically looking at features, and you can look at it as from is it feature to feature, or is it like in general, right? Like, is it in general? I don't know if this makes sense, but basically you can look at every feature and evaluate it, or you can look at the general product, the overall product, right? And because I'm talking about this mostly from like a tech perspective, because that's my area of expertise, but this can apply to every pretty much everything in life. Like it can be applied to, let's say you're trying to prepare a meal, right? If you're trying to prepare a meal, you might have limited resources. So how can you use your limited resources and get to a point where you create something as close as possible to whatever your initial meal was supposed to be. Yeah, and then there's typography in fonts. I do not think this matters as much. I mean, typography and fonts. This is mostly retouches. Like this. Okay, let's phrase this. This gives the product a unique value. And then if it's like design, I feel like design is the most. I feel like if you're designing, or if you have the opportunity to design, this is where you distinguish yourself. But again, if you're talking about product hacking, design is rarely going to be like an issue. Like most of the time, you're going to find yourself, okay, I just want to dive right in. Like I don't have time to design. I just want to go ahead and start typing code, or I don't have time to like um, I'm trying to think of an alternative of like preparing meals for products. I don't know what that is, but yeah, whatever your perspective is, wherever you're coming from, you need to think from this perspective. I have a goal in mind. There's where I want to take whatever I'm trying to build, and then I want to sort of add my own taste, my own value, my own um, identity to this product. I want to make it mine. I want to bring it to life as my own product. So that is now when you're starting to, becoming an artist. You're starting to create something that is truly unique, right? But again, there's no new ideas really. There's no new ideas. Most ideas already exist, and um, you sort of improving them, or adding your unique identity. Let's change this font to be. I think I like this other one better. I like this Excali font. Maybe there's a better one. Let's see. Magneto, maybe. I like Magneto too. So let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Like when it comes to product hacking, but whether it's Gmail, whether it's whatever product it is, there's usually a way to add your own unique taste and make it catered for your needs, or adjust it to have your identity